Hey guys, it's Hazza here, or Harrison, or whatever you want to call me. Um, I'm really excited for Cold War Zombies, and Treyarch, as you can see from the screen, have just released a new blog post detailing all the new information and changes about Cold War Zombies and what we can expect from the gameplay of Cold War Zombies when it gets released on the 13th of November 2020. I'm really excited. The Mama back here, which is what I assume this is the Mama back. So this is the sort of replacement for the Cosmic Silverback. Looks incredible. But it looks to be there's lots of information. So I'm just going to read through this. I'm going to sort of comment on this in bits and pieces. Um, so it starts off by saying, in just 2 weeks, Zombies fans around the world will get their hands on the first chapter of the Dark Ether story in Die Maschine on November 13th. At the official Zombies reveal in September, we laid out all the ways we're bringing classic Zombies gameplay elements to Black Ops Cold War, including the return of the Pack-a-Punch machine, wall buys, mystery box, perk machine jingles, the iconic ray gun, and more. We're also delivering a whole slate of gameplay innovations that work seamlessly together to make this year's offering our most compelling and replaying Zombies experience yet. And we know you've got a few questions about how all of it actually works in game. Yes, we do. Unfortunately, we know a few people in a certain Zombies design department who can help with that. Let's get into it. So the first thing they talk about is perks and skill tiers. So as you can see, is Elemental Pulp, which they showed off in the trailer at the reveal. So first, let's take a look at the perks, specifically which ones you'll be able to collect and utilize at launch, how they work, and for the first time in Zombies history, how to upgrade them. On launch day, you'll have 6 different Zombies perks to crack open: Juggernog, Quick Revive, Speed Cola, Stamina Up, Deadshot Daiquiri, and an all-new perk debuting in Black Ops Cold War, Elemental Pop. Read on for the full descriptions of each base level perk at launch. So for Juggernog, it increases maximum health by 50. I think they've done so. If you didn't see it, I'll put a link down in the description. Milo released a really cool video last night where he talked with Noah J456 about how the about sort of health and high round and 1 to 30 and things like that, how they sort of want Cold War to be. And one of the things that Milo specifically called out was he basically said, I want it to be a really cool, I want there to be like a meaningful differentiator between tier 3, tier 3 Juggernog and tier 1 Juggernog. Like he wants tier 1 Juggernog to be Juggernog, and then he wants tier 3 Juggernog to be Juggernog, but with these cool things that help you in other ways. It sounds like, looking at it, they've done exactly what he didn't want them to do, which is, if we consider one hit to be 50 points, without Juggernog, you can usually, in Black Ops 3 Zombies and previous, you can take 3 hits without Juggernog. You can take 3 hits without Juggernog, but you can only take. And so if we consider one of those hits to be 50, then that means that you only get 4 hits with with Juggernog. But you should, but historically, Juggernog gives you 5 hits. So they've taken off 1. So I will not be surprised if they say tier 2 Juggernog increases the maximum health by 100. Let's see. Quick Revive, reduce the time it takes to regen to full health by 50%, and reduce the time it takes to revive an ally by 50%. I'm not sure about the first part. I know the second part is how it works normally. It's how Quick Revive works already. I'm not sure if the first part has ever been part of the game. Interesting, they don't talk about solo here in any way. And I would not be surprised if we get to Black Ops Cold War and we find that Quick Revive no longer gives you the auto revive that it has done in the past in solo games. Just because I feel like that can be confusing. It's sort of like a little hidden mechanic that you don't really realize, because obviously Zombies is designed as a sort of cooperative experience. So, like, Quick Revive in the name means, it's for reviving other people. So I guess to reduce the time it takes to regen to full health is the part where it's like, okay, well, here's the benefit if you're playing solo, and perhaps there's now no longer an auto revive option as part of Quick Revive. Speed Cola increases reload speed by 15%. That's nothing. That's not 15%. That's nothing. Stamina up increase run and sprint speed. So I think stamina up previously, stamina up is literally just like unlimited sprint. But his is increased run and sprint speed. So basically saying you can sprint faster and your overall movement speed is faster. Unless they have like the super sprint. I'm not really sure. No, they don't have the super sprint. They can't do because the Cold War engine didn't have super sprint. I don't know. So I'm guessing increased run speed means like increased run speed surely means increase the speed of just normal movement, I guess. Okay, whatever. Aiming down sights moves to enemy critical location, removes scope sway. That's, yeah. And every bullet has a small chance to apply a random base ammo mod effect, which is basically your turned, your fireworks, your blast furnace, all that kind of stuff. This is what we thought. We knew that they were going to separate the. We were pretty sure that they were with Cold War Zombies. They were going to separate the alternate ammo types that you get from Pack-a-Punch into its own perk. So that that elemental pop is now applied to you, the player, rather than the gun that you have. So while Zombies veterans will be familiar with the initial versions of most of our starting perks, Elemental Pop is something different. As we hinted at in our Zombies Reveal blog, this new perk is all about ammo mods. With every shot fired while Elemental Pop is active, you have a slight chance for a random base ammo mod to take effect against your target. An incredibly useful tool when your back's up against the wall. But what happens when you want to take your perks to the next level? That's where all new skill tiers come in. In Black Ops Cold War Zombies, every perk can be permanently upgraded to 3 levels. Yes, you heard that right. Permanently. So it's permanently upgradable. So that means that you have to do something and you get it. And then you get that permanently upgraded perk for the rest of Zombies. This is going to be a really long-term thing. And this almost guarantees as well. This guarantees that they're going to be introducing new perks in future maps because it's a way of sort of keeping people invested. Because it's like, okay, right now this map's out, I want to get this perk up to tier 3. That's interesting. That's cool. Okay. So to upgrade your perks, you'll need to earn raw Ethereum crystals. Oh, here we go, some liquid divinium. By reaching milestone rounds within the game or through successful exfiltration. What's more, you'll be able to upgrade skills related to field upgrades, ammo mods, and weapon classes to help you stay alive even longer as you collect and invest more Ethereum crystals. Over time, you'll use these crystals to improve the tools in your arsenal, improving their damage and utility to help you reach higher rounds. An example, upgrading the Elemental Pop perk to Tier 3 will give you the following effects. So at Tier 1, equipment damage also has a small chance to apply a random base ammo mod effect. At tier 2, it reduces the ammo mod cooldown by 20%, and at tier 3, when a random ammo mod is applied, it uses your current skill tier instead of the base. What does that mean? That makes no sense. It uses what? That makes no sense. What does that mean? And what's upgrading Elemental Pop perk to tier 3 will grant the following effect. I don't understand what that means. That makes no sense. Weapon rarities. We knew they were going to bring this in. Weapons have got rarities now. Oh dear. So it's cool, but it's also interesting. It's going to be very because it's no longer going to be, oh, this weapon's the best weapon for this map. It's like, we're not going to be talking about like the Baymaker for the Reisendrach. We're going to be talking about every single gun. It's going to be really interesting because people are going to have a lot of different strats, which is cool. The weapon rarities. Perks are essential, but let's be honest, survival in zombies is all about the weapons. In previous iterations, too many zombies players were left trying to figure out which weapons were the top tier for any given situation based on their war buy prices or by rolling them from the mystery box and hoping for the best. Yeah, so basically, on any given map, you try to figure out what was the best weapon for the boss fight or for high rounds, or you're left trying to figure it out. Whereas what they want to do here is say, this time around, our new weapon rarity system gives every weapon a path to greatness. Here's how. So what they're trying to say here is they want a lot more variety in high round strategies than what is currently there. Weapons come in 5 tiers of rarity. So common / loadout. So there's the confirmation that your loadout is the common variation of the gun, and you upgrade your guns to uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary throughout the course of a single match. But I bet you there's going to be like gobblegum type things, like spawn in with like a legendary tier weapon and things like that. Each tier increases damage done by those weapons and will also determine how many randomized attachments will come along for the fight. For example, an uncommon weapon will feature a 50% damage boost over its loadout version and comes with just 2 attachments, while the legendary version kicks it up to roughly 300% damage and comes stacked with 8 attachments. But how does this affect war buys and the mystery box, you ask? Doesn't this new system make those less effective, you ask? Great questions, fear not. Weapon rarities make war buys in the mystery box even more worthwhile in Black Ops Cold War by giving players more options in any given game. Buying your favourite weapon off the wall is now different every time, with a random attachments thrown into the mix, and the mystery box actually increases its odds of rolling high rarity weapons as the rounds get higher. This creates a new layer of strategy to keep in mind as the match goes on. What happens if you hit the jackpot on your first spin of the mystery box and get an epic magnum at round 10, and then roll an uncommon AK-74U on your very next spin? Let's just say you're more comfortable with SMGs, but you know your damage potential will become lower as a result of switching. Which one do you keep? Previously, if you found a strong weapon in the mystery box, you had very little motivation to return. Now, even if you roll a weapon that you're happy with early in the game, you can return 10 rounds later and try to roll the legendary version. The mystery box also now includes support items such as the sentry turret and war machine, which always come in handy. Oh, cool. War machine will be in the mystery box. That's interesting. To quote Treyarch's lead zombies systems designer, Kevin Drew, I've been playing zombies for 10 years and this is the most excited I've ever been about opening the mystery box. Custom loadouts. Because we're bringing everything together to unify progression across multiplayer and zombies in Black Ops Cold War, this was the team's first chance to fully deliver custom loadouts in zombies. First and foremost, empowering players to bring all of their unlocked weapons and cosmetics into zombies takes the action up a notch and gets everyone into higher rounds faster. This gives players more freedom to play their way, especially for those who want to get a better feel for how much fun zombies can be after the first few rounds. So yeah, that's a fair point. People that are just dipping their toes into zombies, who perhaps might play multiplayer all the time, in the past, they start off in zombies and they get a shitty little pistol. And it's like, right, well, they have to get good at zombies by like attrition, basically, and that's kind of rubbish. Like, let people bring in the guns that they like. And they're more likely to get into those higher rounds and sort of they're more likely to interact with the mechanics of the game that are actually interesting, such as the Easter egg. Like, again, my biggest thing about zombies is what I want more than anything is for like casual players to have not just an incentive, but for it to be possible for them to look at the Easter egg as a thing that's actually doable for them. Even if they just sort of glance by an aspect of the Easter egg, by like a character quote or picking up something, like picking up an equipment piece like a zombie shield, something like that. Picking up a piece of the zombie shield, they might see that and go, "Oh, what's this? That's interesting. I want to see more." But because casual players are already so, especially people who don't know the map and don't know the mode very well, they're already very preoccupied with just trying to get good weapons. Whereas because people who just play zombies all the time, they know that the good weapons are on the way. They know that they're going to be able to hit up the mystery box in some way. They can comfortably train a horde, and they don't have to kill anyone as long as they have the points to get access to the mystery box or a war buy or the perk that they want. They know that those things are going to come in time. And it just makes that sort of period of time shorter, which we can start thinking about. We can let players start thinking about the stuff that comes after getting at least partially set up. The stuff that comes after getting Jug, getting your favorite weapon off the wall, or getting one of your favorite weapons out of the mystery box. That stuff comes afterwards. The stuff that comes after that, like getting the zombie shield, getting gas mask, starting to do one of the puzzles, or getting a bow, or all that kind of stuff. That's the really cool stuff that I don't think people realize that people don't know about, and that's what I want to see change. I want more people to see that stuff and feel able to get to that stuff. And I think this is the first way to get there is with the custom loadouts. Loadouts don't change the classic zombies formula as much as you might think. However, if starting out with a classic 1911 pistol is your jam, go for it. The design team carefully considered how loadouts would affect weapon progression gameplay, and as such, loadouts in zombies are simplified compared to those in multiplayer. You can only bring in a single weapon and a field upgrade with your zombies loadout. Furthermore, that single weapon will have its attachments and cosmetics. It will be the lowest rarity available. This means that your starting weapon won't be very effective at killing zombies after a handful of early rounds, and you'll still need to get out there and find other weapons quickly. You can also upgrade the rarity of your loadout weapon in-game, or any weapon for that matter, so you can keep your customized loadout weapon into higher rounds if that's more your style. Field upgrades in zombies are entirely different from those found in multiplayer, and for good reason. These are tools designed to fit into the narrative of Black Ops Cold War's Dark Ether story and provide a welcome power spike as part of the core combat loop without making players OP in the process. So the field upgrades available at launch include Frost Blast, which creates a frigid blast of wind that deals frost damage and slows enemies caught inside of it. Slowed enemies take additional damage. Healing Aura summons beams of energy down onto yourself and allies to instantly heal to full health. Energy Mine, create a mine of pure energy that detonates on proximity of enemies, dealing explosive damage. Ring of Fire, create a ring of ethereal fire that boosts damage for you and your allies. Normal enemies who enter gain a burning effect that deals fire damage, lasts 15 seconds. Ether Shroud, phase into the dark ether for 5 seconds, becoming hidden from enemy detection. And that's it. Phase into the dark ether. Yeah. So just to touch on this. Again, I watch Mr. Rufflewaffles. I watch Mr. Rufflewaffles channel a lot. I really like his content on story because he really thinks a lot about it. And he's just very knowledgeable and stuff. And one of the things he was talking about a little while ago was sort of the images from Treyarch about the Red Door and things like that. And one of the things he was saying is that he reckons that the whole point of the zombies mode, at least for this map, is sealing the rift, and he believes that the rift is going to these other dimensions. And I don't think that's the case. What I think, from my understanding, the other dimensions that don't exist anymore from Black Ops 4 previous. Those are the dimensions that Dimension 63, all that kind of stuff. They don't exist anymore. But what does still exist is the Dark Ether, because everything that was 115 related had to get put back into the Dark Ether using the Garthan device. So the Dark Ether still exists, and I think that's what the Rift is. So the Rift is going to the Dark Ether. So the Ether Shroud, from my understanding, is going to be it's going to be this technology that the Russians have been making at NACT to open a way into the Dark Ether. And so they're going to have this thing to sort of travel through the Dark Ether to get to places and perhaps hide in the Dark Ether, becoming hidden from enemy detection. It'd be interesting to whether it's like a sort of afterlife mode type of thing where you can move around the map while you're in Dark Ether mode. That'd be quite cool. Anyway, let's carry on. So the design of these field upgrades take inspiration from several action-based abilities in previous Zombies games. including certain gobblegums, elixirs, and even some non-passive perks. Each one is balanced with an appropriate number of zombie kills required to charge it. For example, Healing Aura has the upgraded ability to revive players in the map remotely, but requires double the kills to charge than an offensive-based field upgrade, such as Energy Mine. When you load into a match, you're going to want to have one of these field upgrades unlocked in your custom loadout and ready to charge up. Coordinate with the rest of your team before a match to make sure you've got a good balance of offensive, defensive, and support field upgrades to help everyone survive as long as possible. So this is interesting. So it sounds like field upgrades in actuality are a replacement from the specialist weapons from Black Ops 4, apart from they're much more like they're not as OP. So the problem with specialist weapons from Black Ops 4 was that they were very overpowered. You activated them, they got you out of any situation. You had DG4s. If you had DG4s, that meant if you got crowded, if you made a mistake and you got trapped, you just activate your DG4s and they would get out of free. Not only were they a get out of free, like get out of jail free card, but they lasted long afterwards. You could keep slamming them and getting kills and stuff like that. They were very, very overpowered. So it's cool that these seem similar to your specialist weapons, apart from they're far. And that went for pretty much all specialist weapons. So all specialist weapons had a knockback effect that sort of meant that you could get out of a tough situation, and then in addition to that, they were a weapon that you could then use to sort of clear out, and they're very powerful. And so it's interesting to see what's happening as part of. It's interesting to see what they're doing with these, because it seems to be a replacement for specialist weapons, but make them more of a choice, of an active decision. So previously in Black Ops 4, you had the specialist weapon. It didn't really matter what they were doing. So, for example, if you were doing if you were trying to do a 4-player Easter egg where not many of you knew the Easter egg in Black Ops 4, you would have taken the staff for chaos. You would have taken the staff because it could heal and revive from a distance, which was really cool. But mainly you just got it because it was the specialist weapon, and it would help you. Whereas these, you're going to be coordinating with your team members. So who has healing or or if I'm a new player, Ether Shroud sounds great for me, because I assume what Ether Shroud means is that if I'm struggling with a map or with a challenge or something like that, I can always, if I get into trouble, I can pop Ether Shroud and get out of there. But that means that I don't get the healing aura, I don't get the frost blast, or I don't get the ring of fire. So while a new player or a not as good player might take Ether Shroud, someone who was very good at the game might take Ring of Fire, because all they need is the ability to boost their damage for 15 seconds or whatever. This is great. This is a really cool change. I like this a lot. So, for example, Healing Aura has the upgraded ability to. Okay, I've already read that. But requires double the kills to charge than an offensive based field upgrade such as Energy Mine. Upgraded ability. Oh, yes, because you can upgrade stuff. So, yeah, exactly. So, Healing Aura. This is a replacement for specialist weapons. I like it a lot. I think it's cool. When you load into a match. Oh, I've already read that book too. Okay, let's carry on. So, armor and salvage. Replacing the crafted shield of previous zombies' experiences. No. We're losing zombie shields. That's so rubbish. Love zombie shields. It's like my favourite thing in a zombies map is going, right, where's the shield? Where's the shield pieces? I love that. Armor provides a 360-degree layer of protection from the armies of the undead. Armor can be found as a rare drop from enemies or purchased using salvage. When worn, it will mitigate a portion of incoming damage. Every hit will still deal damage, but its durability is limited. Although armor is partially repaired by picking up the occasional armor shard dropped from certain enemies, it's a finite resource, and you'll find yourself vulnerable again once you run out of salvage to repair it. You can also fully repair armor by picking up a Carpenter power-up. It is literally a replacement for the shield, but it's 360 degree. So again, this is one of the things that is making it more casual friendly, because people who play the game all the time know the utility of the shield and how it works, but that's not obvious to new players. Whereas if you have armor, everyone's familiar with armor because most Call of Duty players have played Warzone at some point or another, and armor is a thing in Warzone. Everyone can understand how this system works because it's just all 360-degree, all-encompassing protection. It's not a thing. And so this is why Jug is also underpowered now, because they have armor instead. This is cool. I'm more okay with Juggernog now. Armor can also be upgraded to additional levels, increasing its damage mitigation and durability. You're going to need it as rounds progress because zombies grow stronger every round. Remember, even when paired, zombies grow stronger every round, so that means they hit for more damage. That's going to be cool. Remember, even when paired with an upgraded Juggernog perk, no amount of armor can save you if you find yourself overrun, especially as rounds get higher and the challenge increases. Support/score streaks. We've wanted to bring score streaks back for a... Let me start again. We've wanted to bring score streaks to zombies for a long time, and now that player progression is unified across modes, there's never been a better opportunity. While certain zombies maps have included some variants of those in the past, the new Dark Ether narrative offered the perfect chance to finally carry over some of the militarized versions into zombies to raise the stakes even higher. Sometimes you need just a little extra power to get out of a tight spot, and that's where support comes into play. At launch, the available support selection will include Combat Bow, Sentry Turret, War Machine, Chopper Gunner, and Self-Revive. So that's funny. That is quite good, because I think initially when people saw the Chopper Gunner in D Machina in the trailer, people are like, oh, they're gonna be like napalm and airstrikes and all that kind of stuff. But that Chopper Gunner seems to be the only sort of large scale score streak that's been brought in. But there it is, Self-Revive. So that's where Self-Revive has gone from Quick Revive. Because they don't need Self-Revive on Quick Revive now, because now it comes in as a support/score streak. So keep an eye out for one of these to pop out of the mystery box if you're lucky. And for those curious about how calling in a Chopper Gunner works without being instantly ripped to shreds by zombies, while you're controlling it, any support that takes sets away from your character will temporarily make you immune to damage and ignored by enemies while it's deployed. This ensures that parties of one can make use of support in solo games as well. There's going to be some sort of glitch there. People are going to glitch it so that the game thinks they're in a Chopper Gunner, but they're not. And another thing that's interesting is Chopper Gunner is the only one of these where it takes the perspective away from the player. So the way that they've worded it like this means that there's going to be more score streaks introduced into the mode in the future. So they'll add things like, I don't know. I don't know what score streaks exist that take perspective away, like AC 130 or something like that. I know that sounds ridiculous, but the way it words it makes it seem like there's going to be other things, because any support at the moment it's only Chopper Gunner. Anyway, loot and crafting. It pays to stay resourceful during an undead invasion. In Black Ops Cold War Zombies, every zombie has a small chance for dropping resources, including salvage, armor, and even lethal and tactical equipment. The tougher the enemy, the better the loot. So that's those blue things that are popping out of enemies in the trailer. So if you look at the trailer, you can see these like blue glowing things dropping out of enemies and things like that. That's going to be this is going to be that salvage stuff. Salvage armor, lethal and tactical equipment. It's not like a martyrdom grenade from like a perk or anything. It's them dropping equipment. That's kind of cool. As you unlock equipment and score streaks through standard player progression, that content will become available at the crafting table in-game and can be crafted using resources. Rarity is also assigned to loot based on its effectiveness. For example, a frag grenade is considered uncommon, whereas a thimble monkey is a rare drop. Optional exfil. Why die if you don't have to? With the new option to exfil from the map when your squad can't last much longer, you can roll the dice and try to survive long enough to escape with some extra rewards, but it won't be easy. So starting at the end of round 10 and every 5 rounds after, you'll have an option to use a radio in the starting area of the map to call in exfil. In a co-op game, a majority of the players must vote to initiate exfiltration. Once triggered, the normal round will end and you'll be given a new objective to reach the exfil site within a specific time limit. At this point, zombies will begin to flood the area in a last-ditch effort to stop your squad in its tracks. Once you reach the site, a helicopter will fly in and hover above until the zone is cleared before it can land. If you manage to make it onto the chopper, you'll escape with some bonus XP and the chance to earn raw Ethereum crystals, risk versus reward. Ping system. For the first time, we're bringing a locational ping system to Zombies players. This will function the same way it does in Black Ops Cold War's multiplayer, activated by pressing the D-pad left on controllers and Z on keyboards by default. Whether you're marking the next door you need a friend to open, pointing out the Pack-a-Punch machine to a first timer, or pinging the latest location of the mystery box for your squad, we think this feature brings a huge quality of life improvement to Black Ops Zombies players. That's great. That's fantastic, because it's going to make it much more easy say to people, I need you to open this door, or Pack-a-Punch is over here, or this is where, well, you won't be telling people where the shield is anymore, but perhaps where Jug is, or stuff like that. Don't forget your treats. You didn't think we'd leave you empty-handed for Halloween, did you? We've got even more Zombies goodies to share. So this is the main theme. You can see it on YouTube. I'm not going to play it. So family portrait, calling card plus weapon charm. For those of you who followed the endless Easter eggs revealed through Porn Takes Porn since the very beginning, or even if you've recently started reaping the rewards for playing along, you can get your hands on the free family portrait calling card in Black Ops Cold War today. This Zombies-themed calling card was created to commemorate the community's role in helping to solve the maze of secrets along the way, and comes bundled with a Porn Takes Porn themed weapon charm to equip at launch. Visit porntakesporn.com today to uncover the truth and earn over 60 achievements to unlock in-game rewards for Black Ops Cold War, Warzone, and Call of Duty Mobile. And the cosplay guide that they showed earlier. Officially, this lady is Samantha Maxis, which is really cool, and they've realised that as well. That's right, Samantha Maxis confirmed. If you weren't sure before this week, you might not have been keeping a close enough eye on that telephone keypad in the D Machine intro cinematic. Don't forget to share your Zombies cosplay photos with us on Twitter and Instagram using the hashtag ZombiesCosplay for a chance to be featured. Zombies fan kit, I'll probably use this to make the thumbnail for the video. But it's a cool fan kit with some cool backgrounds. I'll probably change my background to be this for a little while. And happy Halloween. And then just to finish off this video, we're at 32 minutes, which things that I've actually done well, I think. Treyarch have actually done some other stuff, but I think it's just a couple of little things that sort of explain some little bits and pieces. They've pinned that, ready for Zombies fan kit. So here we go. So you have six Zombies perks to crack open at launch, and more to come post-launch, as we expected. Let's show the thread. You can permanently upgrade perks to 3 levels in Zombies, as well as skills related to upgraded field upgrades, ammo mods, and weapon classes to help you survive and to higher and higher rounds. Weapons come in 5 tiers of rarity in Zombies. That's going to be really cool. It's going to add a lot of... It might end up making the 1 to 30 a bit longer, I think. I think you might still be changing out weapons when you get to like around 50. So yeah, that's cool. So you want to start out with a 1911, then that's fine. Ether Shroud, interesting. These are going to be the support items, and you can exfil, and yeah, it's everything. So yeah, that's really cool. I really like the changes that have been made. It really sounds like they're trying to make it even more. They're trying to make it sort of casual friendly in the right direction. One of the issues with, and someone pointed this out to me a few weeks ago, where we were talking about sort of a lot of people don't like how quote complicated Zombies is, and how you have to go do puzzles to unlock Pack-a-Punch and things like that. And I take umbrage with that because Black Ops 4 made a really big effort to simplify things. You know, Revelations was awful. Like unlocking Pack-a-Punch and Revelations was ridiculous, and I'm so glad that they took a step back from that and realized that in our bread and butter like casual zombies map in Black Ops 4, we really need it to be simple, and it needs to be simple in every single other map as well. And it is. It's ridiculously simple in Black Ops 4 to unlock Pack-a-Punch every single time. You need the simple bits to be simple. But someone made the fair point that even though if, me being a fan of the mode and understanding the mode and how things change and how things affect the gameplay, even though that's a thing, even though I know that, from the outside looking in and coming into zombies for the first time, Black Ops 4 was still very complicated. It was still very intimidating in the way it said, oh, okay, so you need to assign these perks to these slots, and then you need to choose your specialist weapon, and then you've got these elixirs and things like that. It all just, I can imagine it being overwhelming as someone new coming into the mode. So I really like that from like the way that they're sort of getting this mode to be, it seems a lot like there is some complexity there, but ultimately all you need to start playing is you need to choose the weapon that you're going to start with and a field upgrade, which is they're concepts that people understand. Like, it's not the Staff of Ra or the Ragnarok DG4s that people are picking. It's Chopper Gunner or Self Revive. Those things are going to be quite straightforward for people to get and understand. And I think it's going to be simple. And so that's what I really like, and that's what I'm hoping for. I want them to keep the sort of Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2 style of zombies, because that was when it was its strongest, everyone agrees. But simplify it, so make sure that the maps are straightforward. Make sure that the way to get into the game doesn't fill you with jargon and rubbish. Like, everyone who plays Call of Duty should be able to jump into zombies and understand the things that are being shown to them. And then, yeah, the only thing that I'm still unsure about is this upgrade system. When in a random upgrade, random mod is applied, it uses your current skill tier instead of the base. So all I understand from that perhaps is because it says you'll be able to upgrade skills related to ammo mods. So what I'm guessing perhaps is that if you upgrade, no, because that can't be right, because then you would just upgrade elemental pop. So what I was going to say was perhaps it means that rather than so if you have an ammo mod, so let's say, for example, let's say that it's turned. Let's say one of the ammo mods is turned, and you had turned at tier 1 effectiveness, but you have elemental pop at tier 3. That means that when the random ammo mod is applied and it's turned, it will be a tier 3 version of turned rather than the tier 1 version of turned if you just had a turned gun. If you just had an ammo mod or turned on your gun. It's cool. It sounds good, but it just sounds a bit confusing. I'm not sure why would you then choose to focus your, I guess it's random. Yeah, okay. So if you really, yeah, okay, I get it now. So if you really like a certain ammo mod, then you would level up the ammo mod. So for example, people really like things like Dead Wired and Fireworks from Black Ops 3. So like, if you really like those, you would focus on upgrading those and then make sure you get the ammo mods for those with those ammo mods on your weapons, because then you have really high ones. Whereas with a random ammo mod, with elemental pop, the sort of thing about it is that it's random. There's RNG involved, so it's not gonna get you out of jail anytime. With an actual ammo mod, with an AAT, you're gonna get a certain outcome every single time. Whereas with elemental pop, you're gonna get different outcomes every single time. And so you if you want that fixed thing, you specifically go. So I think what's going to end up happening is in the beginning, people are going to rush to Elemental Pop 3, And then as they figure out sort of what builds they like more, they'll then target those ammo mods more. I'm assuming you'll be able to have both of them at the same time. So you'll probably be able to have an ammo mod and elemental pop. So then you get 2 procs, which I think would be cool. Anyway, I've not looked at the camera much in this video, but if you have watched this video, then thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really excited for Black Ops Cold War Zombies, as I hope came across in the video. So thank you and goodbye. Cheers. Bye.